Okay, this is my main kit here. This I keep in the hall closet at my house. So if anything bad goes down, this is the bulk of my supplies here. Granted, I do have a lot of canned goods in the cupboard and supplies elsewhere around the house. It's kind of a decentralized approach where, if I can't get to my closet, I don't want to have all of my supplies in there, all of my eggs in one basket. I like to be a little decentralized. But this is the main kit here. So first off, I've got several of these 5-gallon water cans. You don't have to get this particular kind. You could at Big Five or your sporting goods store, you can get those 6-gallon Reliant water cans for pretty cheap. I think they go for around $10. But I have noticed that those tend to break down within a year or two of use. The spouts are really fragile and they'll break off, and the seams in the plastic can sometimes split in those. So I like to use these heavy duty cans here. This one is a British military surplus. I only got that just because I got a good deal on them. And the basic rule of thumb is to have 72 hours worth of supplies. But after Hurricane Katrina, I looked and saw how long they had to go. We're talking about a week or longer in some cases. So I like to hedge my bets and plan for at least 7 days with no infrastructure. So I've got a few of these. I only brought this one out just so I could show you. And then I've got a Watermain wrench in case you ever have to shut off the water main. It's good to have one of these. And inside the main kit here, I have a gas main wrench. It's good to having one of these and the Watermain wrench on hand is job one. Job two is knowing how and when to use it. So do some research on your own particular house. Know where your shut-off valves are, and know how to use them. Okay, this red binder here is the pretty much the standard operating procedure manual that I wrote up for my particular case for my particular family. So this is going to be different in every individual case. But basically, I have a checklist of things to do in case I'm not home, or if I'm particularly very flustered and my mind is just not working. I'll have a checklist here so I know that everything that needs to be done in case of an emergency is getting done. If I forget to check for a gas leak because I'm so flustered that the house is destroyed, that could have some pretty big consequences. And I just have a whole bunch of lists here of different items to remember. So having a comprehensive list is something good to have in case, to prevent forgetting something or forgetting to do something. Okay, I divided my kit up into grouped items, and I'm using these Workforce brand document bags. I got these at Home Depot. When I got them, they were going for I think $1.99 a piece. The price might have changed, but when I bought them, they were pretty reasonable, $1.99. And they have business card sized slots in here, and I just used a big Sharpie pen to label what's in each of these document bags. And the cool feature is they have like a little lanyard here with a ring loop, and what I could do is get a TSA lock and run the lock through here, and then this bag is secure. So legally, this is a locked container in case I ever need to transport a firearm. So this first bag here is pens, maps, and documents. So if I ever do have to get out of Dodge, I've got a whole bunch of road maps depending where I want to go. And I have road maps throughout California and a few of the Midwest states, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, all the way up into Idaho and Utah, including New Mexico and Arizona as well. Just in case. Okay, this bag is Toiletries and Sanitation. So, you know, toothbrush, toothpaste, dental floss, nail clippers, tweezers, shampoo, you know, basic bathroom items. Oh, the toothpaste I actually just get from my dentist. Every time you go in and visit your dentist, you know, they usually give you these little small travel-sized tubes of toothpaste and dental floss. So I just save those and put them in this kit. Okay, let's see what's in here. Okay, this pouch is stoves and cooking stuff. So I have a bottle of rubbing alcohol. It's not the best to use for cooking with these little hobo stoves, but I mean they do work. What these are actually, what runs better in these is heat, H-E-E-T. They're used for treating flooded fuel lines, I think, or frozen fuel lines in your cars. You can get them at your automotive store for I think about $2 or $3 for a similar sized bottle, and you use that to cook in these alcohol stoves. What else do I have? I have an Esbit stove. So this is a folding stove here that runs off of tablet fuel. So you just fold out these wings, you put your fuel here, and then your canteen cup sits right on top, so you can cook with that. Match case, waterproof match case. And I have a bag of wooden matches. And I have another little gas stove in here. This thing's kind of a small backpacking stove. So this thing sits on top of your propane tank, and these fold out. Flame comes here, and these things will support the pot you're cooking with. Nice little light cooking stove, lightweight and portable. Next thing, I have comms and batteries, communications and batteries. So, what do we have here? Okay, got a whole bunch of batteries, and it's important to note what your battery requirements are. So, I mean, if you've got AAA, AA, D cell requirements, you always want to make sure you have those on hand. In this one, I have these little backup Motorola radios. These things are really cheap, and they work decent. I mean, they're not the greatest, but I mean, for the size and weight, they're pretty good. My main radios I actually have in my home defense drawer. Maybe I'll show that to you some other time. But we keep, I think they're 5-watt radios, which are pretty good for our main radios. Also, I have a small AM/FM radio in a Ziploc bag here, so I can hear, you know, any local and national news broadcasts to get updated on whatever emergency situation we're going through. So that's comms and batteries. Okay, looks like the last pouch: fire, knives, and defense. So in addition to the cooking pouch, the stove pouch with my, that had the matches, I've got a bunch of candles in here for illumination in case we lose power. I've got a Magnesium and Flint striker fire starting tool. These things are really handy. There's a little hole in here, and usually they come with a little keychain loop. So you just keep them on your keychain, and you've always got a source of fire. Very handy to have. Let's see, defense. I've got pepper spray. And a little bit of spare ammo. Most of my ammo is in my home defense drawer, like I said previously, but I've got some ammo here in case I need to just grab and go and I don't have time to get to my main defense drawer. good to have. I need more candles in here. And I printed this out. This is the penal code for California regarding transportation of firearms, ammunition, and magazines. So in case I ever have to get out of Dodge and I'm transporting firearms, I have this handy so I know, what I can and cannot do legally. And if I'm ever stopped by law enforcement, I can show them this if there's ever a question about it. I can show them the exact penal code of firearms, whatever that pertains to transporting firearms. Okay, moving on.